you've seen the three moves that we've made tonight that we've announced. I obviously the details are all there, so I'm happy to take your questions. We're obviously not all the way to the trade deadline, so recognizing the picture is incomplete, I just want to open it up for questions on what we've done so far.
Hey, Chaim. You had said when we talked to you last week that it was still your goal to do everything you could to get the team to the playoffs. Just explain, I guess, the Vasquez trade and how how that is going to.
Yeah, Ian, I lost the second part of your question.
Yeah, just explain, I guess, how the Vasquez trade would kind of mesh with trying to make the playoffs.
Yeah, look, I know obviously, we still have about 20 hours to go before the trade deadline, and it is an incomplete picture. So there's no question. Obviously, Christian is playing at a really high level right now, and moving him, is going to impact this club. We're aware of that, and we're trying to help the club. We still want to make the postseason, and we're also trying to make the right moves for the organization. So the puzzle is incomplete right now. Obviously, I don't have a crystal ball on everything that will happen in the next 20 hours because we are only one part of deciding to make a trade. We need other teams to also want to do that. But our intent is to do all those things. Our intent is to put ourselves in a position to make the playoffs. We have gotten ourselves in a position where that's going to be difficult, but we also have a lot of talent, and we believe that is possible to do. And we also want to make sure we're doing right by the organization and making the right moves for the organization as well.
So how did this trade fit into that?
Well, the players we got are players we're really excited about. Both these guys are fast risers in the Houston system. I don't just mean in terms of the levels they're at, but just in terms of the progression of their skills. Really good hitters. Valdez plays a lot of different positions, but the bat is really the calling card. It's come on very well and very quickly. When you go under the hood, there's a lot of things he does that make him a very complete hitter. He makes contact, he manages at bats, he drives the ball. He covers all different pitch types, covers the strike zone really well, and has really come on this year, making nice progress offensively. Abreu, another kid who is a hitter we like, who also plays all three outfield positions, has made himself an asset on defense. Both guys being left-handed hitters, add to our picture, and recognizing they're in the minor leagues now, we think both these guys have a chance to really help us and help over time make our roster more talented, deeper, more complete. And some of what we've gone through this year, and especially in this recent stretch, has shown the value of having that. We have suffered at times this month from not having had as deep, as complete, and as flexible a roster as we would have liked, and we really look forward to these guys having a good chance to help us rectify that as we go forward.
And how do you envision your catching situation, catching playing time rolling out going forward?
Yeah, a lot of that, obviously, this is still pretty fresh, and haven't had a chance to really sit down and map it out. We like what Reese McGuire brings to the table as far as being a left-handed hitter who is an asset on defense. We'll see. Obviously, there's nothing else imminent that's up my sleeve right now, but some of this I think is best saved for assessing after the deadline is over, and we can talk about the full picture. And look, I don't want to walk past Christian Vasquez's contributions to this organization. I mean, this guy spent his entire professional career here, through today, a part of so many good things here. I don't need to tell you all that. You've seen him play, and getting to know him this past couple of years has been really an awesome experience. He's playing at a very high level right now, and he's a horse. He's out there all the time. That's not something anybody looks past. He was a credit to this organization, credit to the people who signed and developed him. And someone who I hope will always think of the Red Sox as home. So by no means an easy decision, but something that we thought, with where we sit, looking at the whole picture, is something that we need to do for the sake of the organization.
Chaim, I know you said the other day that you weren't going to worry about clubhouse reaction when making moves, but how do you square trading one of your best players for minor leaguers and still kind of committing to, you want to make the postseason this year?
Yeah, look, again, there's a number of different things that we're trying to do, and the puzzle isn't complete. We also brought in big league players tonight, and hopeful to be able to continue to do that. This is one that I know hurts in the clubhouse. Very aware of that, even though sitting here in Boston right now, just because it's easier to operate out of here, and I won't be able to be there until after the deadline. I know it hurts, and that's something that we don't take lightly with these guys, busting their tails out there as we speak and on a daily basis. And I know the effort that they put in, and I know the clubhouse that we have, and I really think it's a good clubhouse. I know this is going to hurt. And like I said, we have to be mindful of it. We have to do our best to be prepared for it. In this case, obviously, the timing of different moves as we approach the deadline is not something that you completely control. And sometimes you have to make moves, recognizing that there might be other things to come that you try to pull off, and that, we're not going to be able to control the reactions that everybody has, and they're entitled to their reactions. We're going to be accountable for those. We're going to be available to explain it and to own everything that we're doing. And I know this is not something that's going to make anybody happy, and that's a credit to who Christian is. But also we're aiming to get to a point, and I'm hopeful that we will get to a point where we can look everybody in the eye and feel that we have a club that, if we do play up to our potential, we can get to the playoffs, and also that we're taking care of the organization as well.
I mean, when you say puzzle's incomplete and you want to judge it, are you hinting that there's more like buy moves on the horizon in terms of more buying than selling in the next 24 hours?
Well, again, there's nothing that we have waiting to drop that I know we have a certain move teed up that we're going to do. There's a lot of different possibilities. Look, at when I spoke to you guys last, it was a few days ago, and I had an idea of some of the different things that were on the board, and then some things came up, either moves that the specifics of moves that we completed, or moves that we contemplated or pursued that either didn't happen or haven't happened yet, that we didn't know about at that time. We have an idea of some of the things we'd like to do. We don't know everything that will be available to us. We're getting into a point, even today, so many different things changed, so many things became available to pursue, or went away. So we're going to be on top of all those things. But the one thing that I know is that I don't think we've seen the end of the story here, and so I know that's hard, and not knowing exactly what's going to happen in the next 20 hours. But that's something where I think it'll be easier to step back and look at the whole picture once the deadline is passed.
Chaim, how do you?
What does Tommy Pham bring to the equation here?
Tommy's a really good major league player. He's a good hitter. He manages an at bat really well, and that's something that I think will be a huge benefit to our group. He hits the ball hard. He knows the strike zone. He is a competitor. He's a really knowledgeable hitter. Understands himself. Very passionate about hitting. Just a guy who has a lot of talent. Has proven that over the course of time at the major league level, and excited to add him to our mix.
He's basically played a lot of left field and not much right field, some center. Where do you envision him playing?
Yeah, again, we're more focused on just adding a talented player. He has moved around the field. Again, there's a lot of moving parts here. Right now, we are not at full strength, and so contributors are. I have a lot of confidence that we're going to be able to make that work, and then we'll see what happens as we go forward here.
Chaim, how do you envision the future at the catching position? Do you see the possibility of pursuing Christian Vasquez if available in the offseason, and where do you kind of see things beyond the 2022 season?
Yeah, by rule, we're not allowed to talk about other teams' players in that way, and Christian Vasquez right now is another team's player. we certainly do not have a settled picture going forward at the catching position, but obviously with Christian's pending free agency, that was true yesterday as well.
Anything else?
Yeah, you've talked about the possibility of additions, but obviously moving Vazquez is going to raise a lot of questions in your clubhouse about what's going to happen to other free agents to be. You've already made clear that I assume that Xander and Rafi still are still no trade discussions involving them.
Yeah, nothing's changed there.
And with regards to the other potential free agents, is it safe to say that this is a signal of a willingness to deal from that group?
Well, okay, I addressed this probably a little more vaguely last time I spoke with you guys, because obviously we hadn't done anything yet. Obviously, I don't know yet what is to come, but as with anything, we have to be open to the right moves for the organization, whether it's a single move or a series of moves. So for me to sit here and say that something will or won't happen, I don't think would be right. We're trying to have a group out there that's capable of getting to the postseason, and we're trying to build a strong organization. We want to do both those things, and if we see a move or a series of moves that fits into that, then it's on us to pursue it. So a lot will depend on what happens over the next 20 hours or so, and I know a lot of possibilities that are on our board that I can't share. I know a lot of different things that we have pursued that we're still pursuing. It's too early to know exactly what will happen there. I do think it's going to be a very busy day or so for us. What exactly is going to happen there, I don't know. But, we're going to try to do what's best for the club. It's what's best for the organization.
Chaim, do you know when Pham and McGuire are going to be able to be here?
Hopefully tomorrow. We're still working on that, but hopefully they'll be here and be able to be active tomorrow.
Can you say if there's a market for some of your other players?
Generally speaking, I would say what I often say in response to questions like this: when you have good players around the trade deadline, it's safe to say there's going to be interest in those guys. And for us to move good players, we're going to set a high bar. It's not something that we're looking to do. We like these guys, but when you have talent, usually there's going to be interest in that talent.